What's going on, family? What's going on YouTube? What's going on, future grandbabies? Been a lot of talk online here in the last day or so in reference to a private equity firm acquiring majority shares of Indian motorcycles. Quite honestly, I'm not sure if I should be worried or not. I mean, I am a new Indian owner, and I went into it understanding that they were a division of Polaris, sports or whatever you want to call them. Polaris as a company, power sport company. I know they run Can-Ams and they have the Spider and what have you. However, this was their division. As I understand it from a couple of sources, I've actually saw everything I'm learning from YouTube University. Nick Culver, what's the other guy's name? Pastor Brody. And I was looking at another gentleman who runs a channel called Ridge Romer Motorsports, right? And I wasn't really worried or concerned. I thought Nick gave a great review. I think they all had a great opinion or understanding of what was going on. I like Nick's understanding because it kind of gave a little bit more of what could possibly happen that would be unfavorable. And they all gave a little bit of that. But one of the things that I'm concerned about, and I know a lot of people went through this when they made their acquisition, Polaris made their acquisition of Indian motorcycles and Victory motorcycles. I see Victory out on the road. I wonder, and I like Victory, 100% thought it was a great looking motorcycle. You can see a lot of the life of Victory in the Pursuit and Challenger, in my opinion. But what happens to Indian if things don't go well? That's my question as a new rider, a new Indian owner. Now, a lot of people, still love their Victory motorcycles. And I know that there's still probably life in Indian, at least based off of what I've heard through the other content creators who actually study this. There's some life after the company acquires them. Good 5 years or so is basically when we will know what will go on with Indian and whether or not it's worth continuing to support the product. Here's my problem. I like it as it is right now. Not that I understand business. I understand that Polaris is probably doing what's good for them, but because of their circumstances, it makes me wonder how well is Indian really doing when it comes to their bottom line. Anybody else got any opinions about this? I mean, I'm not brand specific. I've said before, if I saw another Harley out there that I liked, I would so buy another Harley. I mean, I do have some gripes about the company and what they've done as far as their consumer and how they basically treat consumers at some of the locations that I've been to. But I do understand that it's a great product. I do like the motorcycle company, what they produce rather. I don't necessarily like some of their business, but I do like what they produce. And with the private equity firm, I hear they're going to hire a motorcycle guy, someone who's been in the field for a long time, actually worked for Harley. So it sounds good to me. I mean, I don't know much about business. I just know that based off of what I've heard, I have some concerns. I've got this brand new Dark Horse Icon that I absolutely adore. And I was actually considering, the next one, what I might buy in the future. But I guess the next 5 years are going to keep us in flux, right? I guess that's what we're going to have to do. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not a mechanic. I don't try to be any one of these guys on YouTube to tell you what you need to buy or what you should buy. I tell you, ride your ride what you like, right? I just happen to like Indian at the moment, but now I'm nervous. I mean, I just, I didn't dump a lot of money into it per se, like aesthetically. I didn't put a cam on here. I haven't put I think the most I've ever I've changed is the windshield. I mean, I got some highway pegs some Amazon specials that I found that really went with what I was doing. I kept them, worked out well. Did put some money in some Zero products, which I'm very fond of. But you know, at the end of the day, I didn't put a whole lot of money. I actually put more money in my belief in my old lowrider that I sold. I sold that joker. I know I had to put about $10,000-15,000 in upgrades in that, and I hadn't even got to the engine yet. It was simply just basically, you know, lights and windshield and, you know, seat. I did put a saddleman on there. I'm thinking about putting a saddleman on here, but I kind of like the Indian seat. I got the Premier seat heated on this thing. I kind of like this seat. I don't have any discomfort. I can do 2-3 hours without fidgeting. You know, I mean, it's really a good motorcycle seat. So I'm actually not sure if I want to trade this out. However, you know, when it comes to the Indian brand, one of the content creators I was listening to, I want to say Nick Culver, was talking about how they might even have to change some of the engines and actually get rid of some of the bikes, and the possibility. I mean, he sounds very well versed in this. I don't know the guy. I don't know his channel information or anything like that. I know he's kind of relatively got a new base of subscribers on his channel. But he does sound extremely knowledgeable. I want to give him a lot of credit. So shout outs to Nick Culver for putting out his video. Pastor Brody, you know, he's somebody I came across not too long ago. He's a Harley Indian guy. He kind of goes in between. He seems very knowledgeable as well. So as well as the Romer, I think it was Ridge Romer. I was saying Ridge Romer. They all sound knowledgeable. So for me, looking from the outside in as a newbie, I do worry. I do have some concerns. With that being said, you know, I'm not taking my support from Indian Motorcycle. I'm simply saying I have concerns. It's something that I guess as I get into my older age, you know, I'm not that old. You know, I'm in my 50s or whatever, but I'm not that old. As I get into this age bracket here, I start to wonder, you know, I got to be careful where I invest my money and things of that nature, because it'll get to a point when I'm on a fixed income, and everybody knows that when inflation hits or when things go down, fixed income people are the ones that get hit the hardest. So, you know, I'm being mindful, because I know whatever motorcycle I end up with in my 60s, if I'm still riding, it's probably going to be that motorcycle I ride until the end of time, until Jesus calls me home. You know what I'm saying? So I do have my concerns about my investment. I mean, one of the things I'm worried about is, will there be parts? That was a point that was brought up by one of the content creators. Will there be parts if they decide to go under? And I know maybe I'm doomsdaying it right now, you know, but at the end of the day, I really do not want Indian to fold. I think it's a great product. I don't know if I can do anything to support that, but I wonder, you know, what does the Victory guys do? If they need parts, are they interchangeable parts with Indian motorcycles to Victory bikes? I don't know. I have no idea. But I do have some concerns in regards to the future of Indian motorcycles. I mean, a lot of people don't buy motorcycles every couple of years. There's a small customer base that does that. However, if you're going to be one of these people that thinks they're going to buy a motorcycle, keep it for a year or two, you might be just fine. But those of us who plan on keeping their motorcycle longer than that, yeah, you might want to just see how the market does before you make a purchase that major. I hate to say that, but I mean, it just is what it is. You know, this hobby is expensive. So to buy a motorcycle that may ultimately not be in good standing in a year or two, that's concerning. So hopefully they can keep the momentum going. As far as I'm concerned, Indian is great. I hope they do well, and let's see what happens. Shout outs to Indian Motorcycles, man. Thank you. Well, listen, with that being said, I'm just popping up here with a short video, just expressing my concerns to all you rookie riders, Indian riders, or future riders who are looking to purchase motorcycles. Just keep your eye on the prize. Keep your eye on the product. I don't know how this is going to affect sales. I don't know how this is going to affect, overall Indian riders. I plan on continuing to support Indian until I see otherwise that my, efforts need to be channeled elsewhere. But Indian is my brand at the moment, and I'm hoping that, at some point, Indian, can put out a statement or something that will reassure the customer base, the current customer base specifically, and the future customer base. I know they want to make money. I mean, nobody goes into business and spend millions of dollars on something and doesn't want to make money. So I'm hoping that they put out a statement. I haven't found one yet, so I'll keep looking, and if I find one, maybe I'll report back to you on it. But in the meantime, I appreciate you watching. Listen, if you got yourself a motorcycle in your garage collecting dust, pull it out, dust it off, gas it up, and go enjoy the ride.